Today's topic is computer networks. I am Dr. Solomon Waneri of the Department of Biomedical Engineering, University of Lagos, Nigeria. What is a computer network? A computer network consists of two or more computers that are connected together. A computer network consists of more than one computer, that is a computer and other computers that are connected together. The purpose of connecting two or more computers together is to be able to share resources. Computer networks are usually connected with network devices like switches, and also they are also connected with cables or by wireless means. What are network cables? A network cable is the medium through which information is shared from one computer device to another. A network cable is usually a medium, such as a wire, through which a computer information is shared from one computer to another. The type of network cable that is used depends on the network's topology, the protocol, and the size of the network. Usually, star-based network or networks with star topology often use twisted pair cables for their connection. There are various types of network cables. The first are twisted pair cables. Under twisted pair cables, we have the shielded twisted pair cable. The shielded twisted pair cable has 4 pairs of wires inside a jacket. They have 4 pairs of wire. You can see the 4 pairs of wire. Let's start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs of wires that are inside a jacket. Each pair is twisted with a different number of twists per inch to help eliminate interference from adjacent pairs and other electrical devices. Usually, there are interferences from other pairs of the wire that can affect the quality of signals. So that is why the wires are twisted. We have the unshielded twisted pair cable. The unshielded twisted pair cable, which we call UTP cable, is the least expensive cable, but it's usually susceptible to radio and electrical frequency interference. It's usually susceptible because it's not shielded. It's not shielded, so it's susceptible to radio and electrical frequency interference. Usually, the maximum distance for UTP cables can run in a local area network is about 100 meters. Once it exceeds 100 meters, the level of signal attenuation will hinder us from getting quality data transmission. The next is coaxial cable. A coaxial cable has a single copper conductor encircled by a braided metal shield in a plastic jacket at its center. Usually, the metal shield blocks electromagnetic interference and noise, which may affect data transmission. So coaxial cables are quite efficient. The two main types of coaxial cables are thick coaxial cable, which are also referred to as thick nets, and thin coaxial cables, which are also referred to as thin nets. For thick coaxial cable, the signals are based on 10 base 5, usually at a speed of 10 megabits per second for a maximum distance of 500 meters. While for thin nets, that is thin coaxial cables, the data transmission is based on 10 megabits per second at a maximum distance of 200 meters. Fiber optic cable. Fiber optic cabling consists of a center glass core that is surrounded by several layers of protective material. Usually, fiber optic cables are the most efficient in terms of transmission distance and speed. We can use fiber optic cables to transmit data for a long distance beyond the reach of your shielded twisted pair cable and that of your coaxial cable. We can link computer network within a city using fiber optic cables. So fiber optic cables are quite efficient. They are not susceptible to electromagnetic interference or crosstalk, and they have higher levels of data security. Now let's look at network devices. Network devices are hardware that link computers together. They are hardware that link computers together. The types of network devices are repeaters, hub, bridges, switches, and routers. These are the 5 major types of network devices. You can also add modems. What are repeaters? Repeaters are used to repeat or regenerate a signal. Repeaters are often used to repeat or regenerate a signal. Usually, signals are attenuated over a distance, and there is need for amplification and signal regeneration. So repeaters can be used. The second type of network device is a hub. A hub functions as a repeater with multiple ports. A hub functions as a repeater with multiple ports where the cables are connected. A hub operates usually at the physical layer of the OSI modem. That is the Open System Interconnect model. The main disadvantage of a hub is that it is unable to filter data, making it slow and inefficient. When it transmits data, it just repeats the signal to all the ports within the hub, irrespective of the particular port that needs the information, and that can slow down a network. The next type of network device is a bridge. A bridge links different computers by forwarding traffic to the addressed locations. It has the added functionality of filtering content by reading the MAC addresses of the source and destination. What happens is that a bridge is more advantageous than a hub or a repeater. It is able to filter the content to the specific port that needs that information. It also reads the MAC addresses in a network card which is connected to your computer. We have what we call MAC addresses. It is the hardware address of the network card in your computer. MAC means Media Access Control. Media Access Control. So it is the address that helps information sent across the network to locate your computer. So usually a bridge operates at the data link layer of the OSI model. A bridge operates at the data link layer of the OSI model. Hubs broadcast incoming traffic to all ports, while a bridge forwards incoming traffic to the specific ports that the information is addressed to. In addition, a bridge can link two local area networks together. A bridge can link two local area networks together. The next is a switch. A switch is a multi-port bridge that links two or more computers together. Cisco switches are the most common types of switches. Usually, switches have iOS software that enable them to be configured. There are various types of switches based on the number of ports. We have 8-port switches, 24-port switches, 48-port switches. We can expand the number of ports in a switch by linking two switches to each other. Usually, two switches, for example, if you have a computer network of about 80 computers, and there is no switch that is an 80-port switch, what you can do is to have two 48-port switches. Two 48-port switches. And those two 48-port switches can be stacked by linking them together using a crossover cable. A crossover cable can be used to link those two 48-port switches. So we can now have about 96 ports that can be available, or let's say 94 ports, because the two ports have been used. So we can have 94 ports that will be available to connect computers with that network. A switch operates at the data link layer of the OSI model. A switch operates at the data link layer of the OSI model. The next is routers. A router is a network device that forwards data packets between two or more computer networks. That is the function of a router. It operates at the network layer of the OSI model. The network layer is layer 3 of the OSI model. The router ensures that data is forwarded through the most efficient route using during data transmission. Routers help to enhance your network and make them more efficient. Routers can be used for subnetting a network. When we get to subnetting in IP addressing, routers are needed particularly in large network in which data can be forwarded beyond one LAN. If you want to connect several networks together across a large geographical area, routers are important. They will be needed to forward data packets from one network to the other. Cisco routers are some of the most common used in corporate networks. Yes, in corporate networks, Cisco routers are some of the most common. Examples of such Cisco routers are Cisco ISR 1900 or 1900, Cisco ISR 2900, Cisco ISR 3900 series. Wireless routers are very common also and serve as hotspots to extend internet services to other computers, phones, and tablets within a short distance. For example, your Linksys routers. Then the next is a modem. A modem is a network device that modulates and demodulates analog carrier signals. So what a modem does is that it modulates a signal and also demodulates it. Modulation is a process of converting that data into radio waves in order to transmit it across a distance. And that data is now demodulated back. That radio wave is now demodulated into the actual data that was transmitted. The modem connects a computer to a broadband network. Usually, high-speed broadband networks are often used to access internet services for a computer. We have several types of common net modems. Then let's look at types of computer networks. Computer networks may be classified according to their scale. We have personal area networks, local area networks, campus area networks, metropolitan area networks, and wide area networks. Types of computer network. The first we are looking at is personal area network. Personal, when we say personal, it has to do with a network that is around a person, a network that the distance is around the user. That is a personal area network. A personal area network is a computer network that is used for communication among computer devices close to a person. For example, if I'm using my mobile phone, around me, the network it builds around me, and I have a sensor on my body that is connected to that mobile phone. The network around it is a personal area network. The reach of a personal area network is typically between 20 to 30 feet, or approximately 6 to 9 meters. Examples include telephones, PDAs, or scanners. The second type of networks are local area networks. A local area network covers a small geographical area like a home, an office, or a building. A local area network is usually a network in a single building. That is a local area network. It may be wired or it may be a wireless local area network. Wired local area networks are based on Cat5 twisted pair cables or Cat5e or Cat6 twisted pair cables. Local area network can allow multiple users to share a single internet connection. Yes, several users, and that is the advantage of a local area network. It helps computers within that network to be able to share resources. For instance, we don't need to have separate internet subscription for each individual in a local area network. Once there is an internet connection on the server, it can be shared to other computers within the network. Also, files and resources on a single computer can be shared to other computers in the network. Also, you don't need to buy printers for everybody in the network. A single printer can serve everyone in a local area network, as the systems can be configured to print from that single printer. Wireless connectivity has also greatly expanded the types of devices that can be connected to a local area network. Almost all devices can be connected to a local area network, such as your mobile phones, your smart TVs. They can be connected to a local area network. There are basically two types of local area networks. Your client-server network, a client-server local area network. A client-server local area network consists of several devices, often referred to as clients, that are connected to a central server. The server manages file storage, application access, device access, and network traffic. Usually what happens is that the server provides the services that the other computers that are referred to as a client can access. The server may be a web server, a domain name server, a file server, a proxy server, or a print server. While the client is any computer or any system that is connected to the server to access its services. The second type of local area network is a peer-to-peer local area network. A peer-to-peer local area network. A peer-to-peer local area network has no central server. It has no central server. Each device performs the functions of client and server within the network equally. Peer-to-peer networks are usually smaller and they cannot serve so much purpose. So what simply happens in a peer-to-peer network is that two computers can be connected together. None of them is a server. Each can do the work of a server and as a client at the same time, depending on what has to be done. And when you connect two computers together, what often happens is that it will use what we call a crossover cable to connect the two computers directly together. And when they are connected together, they can share resources among them. Then let's look at a wireless LAN. A wireless LAN or WLAN is a wireless computer network that links two or more devices using wireless communication to form a local area network within a short distance, such as your home. Usually, this provides users with easy mobility. That is one main advantage of wireless LAN. The user of wireless LAN can easily move about while still maintaining the wireless connection. In order to be able to connect to a wireless LAN, which we can call a Wi-Fi network. Wi-Fi means wireless fidelity network. A station needs to know the name of the network. This is also known as the service set identifier. The service set identifier of the wireless local area network. That is the name of the network. The service set identifier, SSID, is the name of the network. So SSIDs are designed to be a unique name to distinguish between multiple Wi-Fi networks in the area. An SSID can be up to 32 characters in length and usually case sensitive. They can be up to 32 characters in length. That is the maximum characters in an SSID. The wireless router or other Wi-Fi base station usually broadcasts the SSID, allowing nearby devices to display a list of available networks. Yes, so that any computer that wants to connect can easily see the SSID of the network that it wants to connect to. And once it inputs the passwords, it can have access to it. Campus area network. A campus area network is a computer network that consists of two or more local area networks. So, and it is a network within a geographical area beyond a local area network. Usually 3 or more buildings. Usually a university campus is a typical example where you can find a campus area network. You often know that a university has a wide expanse of land with so many faculties, so many departments, and each of them have their local area network. So now, linking all the departments, the faculties in a university to your computer network, the entire network is referred to as a campus area network. We also have such networks in a military base. So a campus area network is also referred to as a residential network or ResNet, and is often used by residents of specific campuses. So in a campus area network, usually it involves the interconnection of LANs, that is local area networks, 2 or more local area networks. And we often make use of switches and routers in establishing these connections. And also in terms of the cables, beyond the maximum distance of 100 meters for transmitting a cable, a network cable, we often use repeaters to boost the signal, or we can also use fiber optic cable to link departments or faculties that are far away from each other. Metropolitan area network. A metropolitan area network is a network that connects two or more local area networks or campus area networks together across a town or a city, like the city of Lagos. A computer network that connects computers within a state like Lagos State in Nigeria is a metropolitan area network. For example, if a company that has branches within a state like Lagos State, the network that links these computers together within that state is a metropolitan area network. And usually the distance covered by metropolitan area networks is between 5 and 10 kilometers in diameter. Wide area network. This is the biggest of the networks, the wide area network. A wide area network is usually a computer network that covers relatively broad geographical area. It often uses transmission facilities provided by telephone companies. And one technology generally functions at the lower 3 layers of the OSI reference model. The lower 3 layers of the OSI reference model are the layer 3, that is the network layer, layer 2, which is the data link layer, and layer 1, which is the physical layer. One good example of a wide area network is the internet. The internet is the biggest example of a wide area network because the internet connects computers across the world. It's the biggest example of a wide area network. Also, when we have a computer network of a company that has branches across a country. For example, we have banks in Nigeria that have their networks across the entire country, such that if you open a bank account in one branch, for example in Lagos, Nigeria, and you go to Maiduguri in Borno State of Nigeria, you can easily access your information because the bank has a wide area network. A wide area network often has a wide area network router, which is a device that routes data packets between the one different location. So wide area network, you often use protocols to establish connections. These protocols, for example, are the frame relay, the multi-protocol label switching, the SONET, and ATM. These are some of the references you can consult for further readings. Thank you for listening.